Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It's Markets in the Morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer, bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is Wednesday, June 28th, 2023. It's Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action of the cryptocurrency market and the stock market as the stock market gets set to open in 5 minutes from right now. So we kind of get an idea of what happened with the market overnight and what we're looking like as we're heading in to start a fresh new day. We're halfway through the week. Wonder what day of the week that is. We'll dive into the fun. We tend to have a good time here on Wednesdays. It's been a busy week for me. I put out a video yesterday on Ethereum, the day before XRP, and I don't even remember what the video was about Monday morning. Busy week for me. As you guys know, it's been the launch of bcbacker.com, the blockchain backers technical analysis toolkit for crypto. This has been what has kept me away from making videos for the last few months. We've only been doing about half the videos. Quick run through in here. You know, this $39, no subscriptions, no recurring fees. That gives you the ability to, take a look at mastering chart access, chart interpretation, effective tools, identifying patterns, the Wyckoff method, and the Elliott wave theory, the two highly requested sections to put into a course, and then deep diving the historical behavior of the crypto market. Comes with 40 educational videos, over 11 hours of content, downloadable PDF files, and links to additional learning materials. $39, no subscription fees, no recurring payments. Let's go. All right, guys, as we get ready to start the day, Bitcoin still sitting above $30,000, coming off of the announcement of Michael Saylor and company coming out and saying they've bought more Bitcoin. And then price tumbles immediately after. That seems to be the typical behavior there for Bitcoin. After something like that happens, we get kind of a little bit of a dumperooski after Saylor announces he bought a bunch of Bitcoin. But hey, look, prices are holding. It's looking good, like what we talked about yesterday. So we'll kind of review into that again this morning. We were like, hey, it's probably going to come back down. What do you know? It did. Otherwise, I think everything is just fine in the market, and no huge news happening today. But we'll dive into it. We'll have ourselves a good time as we typically do on a Wednesday, and you know what that means.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday.
Let's go. All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's halfway through the week. This is the day we try to have a good time over here on the channel rather than just being a boring old Wednesday. And then next week we have a holiday in the middle of the week. So I think it's Tuesdays, the 4th of July. So there will be nothing here on the channel on the 4th of July, but the day we come back afterwards, 5th of July, it'll be Wednesday again. So that'd be cool. All right, let's look at the price action. As we get ready to start the day, Bitcoin still sitting above $30,000 as Michael Saylor announces that MicroStrategy's purchased an additional 12,333 Bitcoin for an average price of 28,136. Just take all this stuff off the screen. What does that mean? His average price was 28,136. That would have had to have meant that he, over the course of the last month and a half, the price has been underneath that. He would somehow average buying right here that you would have had to have slowly accumulated through here and then FOMO bought here. I don't know. That price smells funny to me. Many of you guys know I have mixed feelings about Saylor stepping down as CEO to focus on Bitcoin buys. Something smells funny about all of that. His main role is to focus on buying Bitcoin, yet following at 28K. And if you guys remember correctly, last year, when they were buying, they would go months without announcing that they've bought and not buying. And then when they did, they'd buy like $10 million worth of Bitcoin. 10 million sounds like a lot of money to a lot of us, because it's hard for us to wrap our heads around what $10 million would feel like compared to 30 million or 50 million. It's all the same amount. It's just a ton of money. But for him to announce 300 and something, how much was it? $347 million here. That's over 34 times the amount of buys that they were making down in these levels, and buying it way up here. It's just bizarre. Okay, wait, I want to talk about something before the market opens. Did I miss it? I missed it. Coinbase was up over 12% yesterday. That was a monster move. Yesterday was a super green day in the market. We had discussed that we were on like a 6-day losing streak out there in the market. So it was nice to see a good day happen, at least in the stock market, because as we know, everything's back at these retracement levels, especially, the Dow Jones, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. They're all sitting right there at those retracement levels. So having 6 days in a row is just like, geez, man. All right. But anyway, pulls back a little bit yesterday. We'll see what happens today. Today's opening red, obviously. It was about flat right when we were about to open, so it looks like we're kind of taking a turn down as the day gets kicked off. We'll see if that was kind of just a little bit of a pullback after a huge day yesterday. The Dow Jones is down 0.19%, 0.2%. The NASDAQ is down 0.47%, and the S&P is down 0.3% to start the day. The biggest winners of the day so far are Netflix up 2.5% and GE up 0.5%. Biggest loser, NVIDIA, and down about 2.5%. They really just got Coinbase there down about 1%. But again, yesterday Coinbase was up 12%. Huge day yesterday. Looking over at gold. Gold's still continuing to tumble, so that's a good thing. I don't know about you, but I was getting nervous when we were up here because I know most people were cheering for that breakout in gold. That is not what we wanted. And we did get the rejection to happen up there in gold. Then it became, all right, we're pulling back down to supports, and now it's tumbling down. So this has just been a good sign. And it's kind of like back tested too. You see it pull back up in here. Let's put it on a smaller time frame. It was kind of like a back test after breaking back down through that support, back tests it, and then continues lower. So this is a good thing to see over here in gold to continue moving down lower. Moving on, DXY. DXY popped up this morning. It looks like it has paused out now as the market has begun to open. Hopefully that was the end of that move. We'll keep an eye on it. It's hard. This is just 5 minutes. This was really quick to happen this morning for the DXY, going from about 102.67 up to 102.95. But you can zoom out even more and just kind of get an idea of the scale of what we're looking at, right? It seems a lot more substantial when we're zoomed in. But there you go. That's what we have going on today with the US dollar currency index. Now, as for crypto, moving back over to here, obviously we have a red day in the cryptocurrency market to start the day off with Bitcoin pulling back. We were talking about this yesterday, saying, wouldn't be surprised if we shot up to like $31,000 and then pulled back down to like 29.8, and that it could happen really quick. This is what we have seen happen here before. I'm not certain that we're going to play out exactly like this. It's just that this is what we did last time. So this kind of has confluence to what we've been watching for the last several months in a corrective structure, and why we did bounce where we bounced, fired our way out of there. Now just consolidating in here. That's the typical, ranging action, which I think is still going to go on for the rest of this week. But we were kind of joking around yesterday, being like, well, we'll see if we'll get a shoot up to 31,000 and then a pull right back down to 29.8. This morning, we got right back to $30,000 practically on the button. So pretty quick pull down back in here. And maybe this thing will settle out here at some point today. And then we just kind of range and then can start working our way up. Otherwise, it's fine. But I think the interesting thing to take note of is not these prices over here. And I don't know what to think of all this. And I'm probably going to spend some time today looking into it. Sorry, I'm going to drink some water real quick so I don't cough into the mic. There's something interesting going on with Grayscale. I don't know what to make of it. And it's starting to get too obvious now to not pay attention to it. As you know, lots of concern about Digital Currency Group, lots of concern about Grayscale during the depths of everything and what happened. And then, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is starting to really close that discount to NAV. It still has quite a bit of a gap, but it's really starting to close it out. But we're not just seeing that over here on Bitcoin. As you guys know, we've seen a big move over there in Bitcoin Cash as well. Grayscale Bitcoin Cash Trust. So this was the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. This is the Grayscale Bitcoin Cash Trust. This is the Grayscale Chainlink Trust, and you can see that it's holding up quite strong compared to that of Chainlink in itself, as if there's demand in these products. Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund. This is interesting that this large cap fund is continuing to rock to the upside. That's different from what we're seeing in a lot of the cryptocurrency market, right? I mean, do you see Ethereum doing this right now? No, Ethereum's pulling back too, you know. Do we see that with a ton of cryptos? No, this is very interesting to see this in this large cap. But you've probably seen it over there on Twitter, the most bizarre one of them all, okay? First of all, this is Stellar Lumens in here. This is the price action we're seeing over here for Stellar. It has been sitting down here in this range for the last, year, whatever. Look at the Grayscale Stellar Lumens Trust. This is bizarre. This is wild. To put this into perspective, you could see right here on Friday, June 16th, it's sitting at about $10, right? You could see right here, Stellar Lumens is sitting right down here at about 10 cents, right? Still in this long range in here that it's been in since November. Here's the same range over here in the Grayscale Stellar Lumens Trust. And then if you look at the price action of the last week for this Stellar Lumens Trust, up 276%. And not only that, but like look over here, where is this pricing? This is January of 2022, December of 2021. So you may have noticed this box up here on Stellar Lumens that I've drawn. That's way up there. For some reason, there is some like insane demand of absolute epic proportions or a short squeeze or something happening on the Stellar Lumens Trust that has fired it up. And if we just look at the last 2 days, it's up 226%. That is not the case over here for Stellar Lumens, the coin. That would be way up here at about 30 cents, right? So you can see right on the right side of the screen, that's at $40 for Stellar Lumens Grayscale Trust, where it was 10 just recently, right? Getting as low as 5, right? This got as low as 7, and it's at 10. So 7 to 10, 5 to 10 to 40. I don't know if, right? So I don't know if this is some type of event going on with like a short squeeze or something on this particular trust, or if there is some like crazy surge in demand elsewhere. I don't know. But what we're definitely seeing in the market is like massive interest running into these Grayscale products. So that was a good sign in 2020. So it was a good sign for those products to run up in 2020. So it's a good thing. Whether or not it has some like meaning beyond that, I'm not sure. I'll spend some time today, but I definitely, yesterday we were talking about how it shot, Stellar Lumens had gone up quite a bit, Bitcoin Cash gone up, but then Stellar Lumens just jumped and went even further again, and then got all the way up to December of 2021. And that is like an anomaly. That's something to take notice of, to say that is incredibly outside of the norm of what's going on over here in the actual crypto market. Does somebody know something we don't know, or something else happening in the market? So I'll be keeping my eyes on that. If you guys find any info out there, tag me on Twitter. All right. As for news in the markets, I didn't see really anything too huge on the economic calendar today, except Jerome Powell is speaking apparently right now. So I don't know what he has to say. How's the stock market responding? Nah, nothing great. So the Dow is down 100 points, which is 0.29%. The S&P is down 0.3%, and the Nasdaq is down 0.26%. So the Nasdaq's actually recovering. So that's good. So Netflix, we have more in the green now this morning. When I was looking at pre-market, I think we only had 2 or 3 in the green, and they were like barely. Or 2 or 3 were, 2 or 3 were in the green. Nearly everything was in the red. But now it looks like we're kind of getting a little bit of a shift happening in here. And now Coinbase is down only 0.69% after being up 12% yesterday. So as for news, I also didn't see anything too huge. NVIDIA dips. I mean, this is what all retail investors are focused on right now is NVIDIA. It's something I'm not really paying too much of attention to. Mortgage demand grows, driven by sales of new homes. Okay. Biden pitches voters on benefits of big government Bidenomics. Okay. Putin claims he's back in control. Russia's elite isn't so sure. Wall Street set for weaker open as chip makers drop. Okay. So your whole narrative for a weak open was chip makers dropping. And most of the market is green and says, oh, we don't care about chip makers anymore. Okay. You guys know it. I'm very critical of news. All right. Moving on. Crypto news. What do we got? Sony Network invests in Japanese Web3 startup to spur mass adoption. Voyager pays $1.1 million in legal fees. Ethereum price won't see 2K anytime soon, the market data suggests. All right. I'm going to call y'all out. I made a video on Monday about XRP, talking all about pricing, specifically saying we have to keep an eye on Ethereum. I tweet about it to give you guys a hard time. I'd give you guys a hard time in the live chat and say, don't you do it. I'm going to put out a Ethereum video. Don't you skip it because you're like anti-Ethereum. I'll put the Ethereum video out, which gives you all the data you needed for the XRP video. Ethereum video is the worst performing video I've ever had. But what's amazing about it is it's got a ton of comments, and the like to dislike ratio is through the roof. It's my most liked versus disliked video that I've done in months because people who are watching it are like, oh, crud, that's good data. But, you just have to, I kind of understand the dynamics of the community. There's a big anti-Ethereum dynamic in the market. But it's not about you and your emotions and your resentment toward anybody. This is about money, man. This is about understanding markets. So if you want to do yourself a favor, I would suggest watching it. Up to you. EU finalizes controversial smart contract kill switch. KuCoin crypto exchange is to introduce mandatory KYC in July. Yeah, so if you use KuCoin, you've just been chilling, doing kind of minimum stuff, you are now going to be required to KYC. Oh, scan your face. This is the norm. While, there's always that part of you that's kind of like, like in the degen and like in the privacy of a lot of stuff. I think most of us who kind of take this serious have come to the conclusion you have to have some stuff KYC'd. Just to have on and off ramps, you're going to have to KYC. So anyway, if you're going to use KuCoin anymore, you're going to have to KYC. And that will be in effect in July. So let's go ahead and read it. All right. KuCoins know your customer, which is KYC. Checks will require new users to complete identity verification to access all services, while existing non-KYC users will not be able to deposit. Right. So if you already have a KuCoin account, you won't be able to bring new funds into your KuCoin account come middle of July. I think we'll get the date in here. Come July, but you still will be able to withdraw your funds, and I believe you'll be able to sell. All right. Major cryptocurrency exchange KuCoin is working to strengthen its Know Your Customer system by introducing new mandatory identity checks. On June 28th, KuCoin officially announced the upcoming KYC system upgrade in a move to increase compliance with global anti-money laundering regulations. The KYC authentication upgrade introduces mandatory KYC checks for all new users at KuCoin starting from July 15th, 2023. Without completing KYC, newly registered users will not be able to access KuCoin's suite of products and services, the firm said. Oh, the whole suite of products. Existing users who registered before July 15th, 2023 will also have to complete the KYC process to access some features on KuCoin. Such users will not be able to deposit new funds, while withdrawals will remain unaffected, the announcement notes. KuCoin's existing users will still be able to use services like spot trading sell orders, futures trading deleveraging, and margin trading deleveraging. Other available services for existing non-KYC users include redemptions at KuCoin's staking and lending hub, KuCoin Earn, as well as exchange-traded funds redemptions. Okay, I think that gives us the general idea. I'm not going to go through all that. Hot stories. How many are going to be? Why is the price up? All right, Riot platforms to add. That's cool. Binance Australia got 12 hours notice before it was debanked. Will 30,000 be a new springboard for Bitcoin bulls? My thought process is yes. BTS revisiting Kathy Wood's ARK reportedly first in line for a spot Bitcoin ETF. ARK Invest filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF in collaboration with 21 Shares long before BlackRock did, and its application is reportedly first in line for the SEC's approval. ARK Investment Management and a pro-Bitcoin firm founded by veteran Kathy Wood, blah, 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 blah. Okay, anyway, they filed before. Who cares? Kathy Wood and ARK and company filed a Bitcoin ETF before BlackRock did. But you really think that they're going to get approved before BlackRock? Unlikely. All right, last news. CoinDesk. Bitcoin maintains 30,000. Hut 8 CEO addresses state of crypto mining. Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy now holds over $4.6 billion worth of Bitcoin. So what do you think, guys? Are they now a risk to the market? Is the entire fate of Bitcoin dependent on the financial situation of MicroStrategy? Oh, but Saylor would never do that to us. He's not CEO anymore, right? I'm such a hater, man. All right, Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy announced an additional 12,333 Bitcoin, that they acquired an additional 12,333 Bitcoin for $347 million at an average price of $28,136 per Bitcoin. They now hold 152,333 Bitcoin acquired for $4.52 billion at an average price of $29,668. So they are flat on their Bitcoin investment right now. Their average cost is $29,668. Right there. Years of buying it to be flat. People love him, though. People love Saylor. He just gives them what they need. Anyway, there you go. Michael Saylor. I'm not going to give it too much more attention. That's really it. All right. So as for crypto, as for today, the things that I'm keeping my eye on is one, this is what we talked about yesterday. Totally expected that to be the case, that we just kind of chill out in here, and that this would be a normal behavior. Still, even a little more down would be completely normal behavior. As for the stock market, kind of a wobbly start. Looks like it's interesting to see that the indexes are down, but so many of these are in the green for us. Some of these carry heavier weight. Like United Health is going to carry over 10% of weight of the Dow Jones. So if that thing's down, 0.64%, the Dow's down 0.37%. A lot of that contribution is going to come there from United Health because it takes up so much of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It's one of those reasons why I point to it so much, right? I say, hey, I think when the bubble pops, it's always going to be, someone will blame an event. So there will be an event that will be blamed. And my theory is that the event will somehow have to do with healthcare and whatever that is. And because it's the largest contributor and that it's the biggest bubble that hasn't popped yet, which is United Health. So we'll see. Otherwise, Coinbase flips into the green, coming off of 12% yesterday, flips back into the green this morning. So we're seeing quite some wobbly action happening here in the market as we start. No huge move to the upside, no huge move to the downside. Actually seems like we're just kind of seeing some reshuffling happening in the market as we get started for the day. Mixed on yields, no real trend here in yields, ups and downs, and long durations versus shorter durations. Looks like the super long durations are really down, more of like mid range, 1 year, 6 month, 2 year up, and then all the really shorter ones are kind of just flat or slightly down. But our indexes are all down about 1/3%, with gold down as well. Otherwise, Bitcoin and crypto, I think this is just kind of our fate for the remainder of the week, and kind of waiting to get till next week. Otherwise, it doesn't mean it has to rain on our parade by any means. You all know what day of the week it is. It's the best day. It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my dude.
But this is where, like, last week, hold on. Remember we came to this screwed up and chopped? Did we go? I don't think we went all the way down to 0.25. I think we went to half. Dang, that's slow.
It is Wednesday, my
I do kind of like it. All right. That's enough goofing off. 1,500 people. We're going to drop to 1,300 real quick after that nonsense, but that's okay. Welcome to Wednesday. This is where we just goof off as we just kind of sit here and wait for the week to come to a conclusion as we get ready. Some people, I bet there's going to be a lot of people going on vacation this weekend. You know, most people probably have off of work on Tuesday. They went ahead and took off Monday too, give themselves 4 days off. So, all right. I think that's it for today, guys. We got Bitcoin just kind of chilling here. We got not a whole lot going on elsewhere in the market. Not a whole lot going on in the stock market, kind of mixed over there. Not a whole lot going on in the news. I don't even consider Michael Saylor buying Bitcoin news. I know a lot of people do. They just go, yes. Oh my gosh. Who cares? A whale has more. Good for him. Otherwise, let's go ahead and dive into the chat, you guys. Vlad Ponzar. Dude, it's been a while, man. You've been around a long time. Is there any way you can cover XLM and future targets? A lot of people in XLM as in XRP. Short-term and long-term analysis would be helpful. I'm not going to be able to do that whole thing here in this video, man. A short-term and long-term analysis of XLM and something like this. It's going to be about watching the rest of the market. So here's problems with Stellar Limiteds, right? One, it just has a developer abandonment. I did talk about, and so when you have developer abandonment, what did we see in 2021? We saw not good things for those assets. So they're down 27% in developers year over year. Now, what's a different element that makes it like positive for Stellar? I guess. I mean, they got a lot of brand name recognition. When I went to Consensus 2023, the whole thing was sponsored. What it seemed like the star sponsor of the whole event was Stellar Lumens. Huge like area in the middle of the entire conference center. Our lanyards had Stellar all over them. They were just the big sponsor of the whole thing. So brand name, are they in a position? It seems like it. But developer abandonment, a problem, and that historically has been a problem. I think that the thing, at least of interest in short term, long term, I'm not sure right now. I'm just going to kind of let that breathe and chill out and see if things improve for Stellar Lumens, because we watched what happened with things that had developer abandonment in 2021. They didn't go set new all-time highs if they were being abandoned by their developers. But like in short-term price action, obviously this is an area of interest up here near 30 cents, just because we're seeing that happen over here in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So I don't know if that's going to translate together, but we just saw that price just fire all the way to right there, which would be $40 for the Grayscale Stellar Lumens Trust is about 30 cents over here for Stellar Lumens right now. So that's probably the area of interest currently right now. As for long term, I'm going to have to give that some room to breathe to see if things turn around for Stellar in regards to developer interest and anything growing on Stellar. Because the Stellar community is just a break off of a certain faction of the XRP community, right? It's not like there's this big super hype Stellar Lumens community. It is, maybe a small percentage of XRP holders are also holders of Stellar Lumens. It's not that there's even like this Stellar Lumens community at all. It's just the XRP community holding Stellar Lumens. So I don't know if there's anything beyond that. So we'll see. Trying to be more careful this time around when it comes to things that are showing signs of developer decline, because that's what happened in 2021. And Stellar Lumens does have developer decline. Got my little sheet open right here. Stellar Lumens down 24%, right? So they're down to 26 developers. It's pretty low in regards to things that are like growing, like coming out of it, like wanting to see like 50 or 60 or 70, like people just actively attributing to it and growing it and developing it. But you're all the way down to 26, and you're also in decline, down 24% year over year for full-time developers. What's really happening there? I don't know. So I don't know. That's about all I got for you, Vlad. Thank you. Jasmine Alajari has said, hey, BCB, is Casper in spring? Thank you very much, Jasmine. Casper is a difficult one because I've covered this for you guys several times in here. Sure, from the looks of it, this looks to be in spring. The biggest problem with Casper that makes it such a challenge is the inflation that happened to Casper. So if you look at Casper's market cap right here hit its all-time high, which is back over here, right? So the inflation of Casper destroyed long-term holders. So anybody who has just been buying and accumulating Casper has been getting wrecked, because there's been so much inflation. There's been so many tokens added to the supply that even though the market cap went all the way back up, and so if you guys watched the XRP video that I did the other day, I really kind of showed what happened, right? I showed Bitcoin, I showed Ethereum, I showed Ethereum Classic. As they go on to hit their 4.236 extensions, I show you how the price chart comes up a hair short, whereas their market caps go on and hit it, right? But why did the price charts come up slightly short? And it's because when you go through years of inflation, right? When like with Bitcoin, 3.5% inflation rate from 2018 to 2020 until it has the halving, and then for Ethereum, like a 4.5% inflation rate, and just stacking that up for multiple years. That even though those inflation rates are very small, by the time those market caps go on and hit those 4.236 extensions, you come up a hair short when it comes to the price chart, because the market cap's diluted amongst more coins. So what has happened here is that the market cap of Casper has gone all the way back up and hit an all-time high. But there's been so much inflation to Casper, so many coins have been added, that it's been diluted to an absurd amount that it's still so far down below there. So the thing to keep an eye on, to further research and understanding of Casper is to find out, who was the beneficiary of all those tokens. Why was the inflation rate so high, and who was getting it? Were you staking Casper that whole time and getting a 100% rate of staking, or are you getting like 12%, and then like the creators and the devs and whatever companies are promoting it, like I think there's like the Casper Alliance or Casper Enterprise Alliance or something. Forgive me, I'm not 100% familiar. I did go up to their booth and talk to them at Consensus, as you guys had requested. I wasn't like super impressed with their replies. It was, and I wasn't impressed with the booth. It was one of the smallest booths there, and none of my questions could be answered. Simple questions, very simple. They couldn't be answered. So I don't know. I just, it sounds like the inflation situation is under control now. I think they're down to like 10% or 11%. So that's fine. That's with, sure, it's a little bit higher than other stuff. Like your best inflation stuff, of course, negative stuff is nice, right? Like Ethereum is, but even, XRP, let's see what XRP is at. XRP is at, like 7%. Bitcoin's at 1.75%. Bitcoin Cash is at 1.75%. Cardano is at 3.5%. But then you got stuff that's just like absurd, right? And you got, like Filecoin at 94%, Internet Computer at 82%. Hedera is still high. Hedera is at 51% inflation. The Graph, 30%, right? So 11% is not crazy. I mean, it's higher than a lot of options out there, but it's not crazy. But it was so beat down from inflation. But yeah, I mean, it sure looks like Wyckoff to me, certainly, right? I mean, this is the same phase of the rest of the market. I think we can overlay everything else. We want to throw on there. We could throw on Atom, and then we'll throw on Bitcoin Cash. Right. So it's all in the same phase, right? So is it? Yeah. I mean, it sure looks like it to me, right? Crack. There you go. That's it. That's pretty much all we can do. That's all your question was. I should have just done that in the first place. I went elaborating, as I typically do, which drag these live streams on for forever when I do that. But thank you. That was your first time. Appreciate it, Jassim. We are Satoshi. Says, I bought the toolkit yesterday. It's great, and I recommend it for everyone. BCB, why are my comments blocked? Are you talking about on YouTube? You shouldn't be blocked on YouTube unless if you've done something that's gotten yourself blocked. But if you guys don't know this, which you should, all comments get reviewed. So if you comment on a YouTube video, you're not going to see your comment right away, because if you'll notice, for the last 2 years, this is one of the very, very few YouTube channels that does not have the scammers and the spammers in the comment section of my videos. And that's because every comment gets manually approved. So we go through every single comment in order to prevent the scammers from just littering like you see on every single YouTube channel. So if you don't see, you won't see it. You will not see your comment post immediately, because it's going to go through the manual approval process, and that usually will take hours. We're not sitting here all day watching comments as they come. It's usually every few hours, jump on, go through a whole 100 comments, and then jump off. Are you blocked in the chat? Can you type in the chat? If you can type in chat, you should be good. But thank you for your kind words. That you bought it. There you go. All right, back to Bitcoin. Get this off here. So, and thank you guys. When you work on something like that for that long, you do get really nervous of what's going to happen when it's released. Are people going to like it? And I've gotten just exceptional feedback, and I'm very grateful. Thank you guys for telling me that you like the course. Thank you. All right. Anti-Crapic. I'm stuck having to work the graveyard shift. Thumbs down. Finally being able to catch BCB live. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Appreciate all your work for the community and your genuine enthusiasm. Well, thank you so much. And I'm sorry you're working the graveyard, but hey, it's giving you the chance to hang out here. And I'm sorry, I am 30 minutes late to your comment, so I'm going to catch up. The DP, the course is fantastic. Anyone who is serious about the future should get it. It's amazing. It's easy to use and user-friendly. And I hope you feel rested now. Yes, yesterday was the first time I got an afternoon off. I did not do anything blockchain backer related from noon for the rest of the day. That was insane. You know, I start at 5 a.m., 4 to 5 a.m. So it's still, I put in an 8-hour day. And by noon, if I'm done, woohoo. Thank you very much. So the course is fantastic. I appreciate it. D says, hit the like, can make an updated alts video on your exit strategy for those you made a year ago. Any update on your strategy on those? Yeah, like I've always said on those still get updated whenever the big time comes. But otherwise, all I'm doing is making updates saying, hey, still waiting for the exact same thing I already said. So all I'm waiting for is for something to happen. I try not, like in market updates, like I've given you guys free market updates for a year. Even though enrollment's been closed for that thing, still just continuing to add market updates in the BC Backer course. But not like anytime there's been updates to any like my exit plans or anything like that, it's when like moves are happening or something substantial is happening in the market. I have requests all the time to just kind of update and just give like a sentiment massage in those, but that's not what those are for. Those are for like if serious actions are being taken on exits and stuff, that's when I'm making things on that. Like I did on Ethereum, full exit completed, literal top. It was amazing. And then on the whole exit plan that posted on November 11th said this is where things can get incredibly sketchy. It was a pivotal moment in time. So it's only going to be if I think there's like a pivotal moment in time and I'm having to make some decisions that I'll update those particular ones. But definitely anticipation is still to do that whenever that comes. But obviously, you don't see me sitting here screaming, "I'm selling today." So I'm not going to sit there and massage sentiment on those. Those are for whenever I'm actually doing something. But the day will come, hopefully. Thank you, D. Michael J. Love gifted 5 blockchain backer memberships. Thank you, Michael. A guy with appreciate it, man. It's very generous of you. A guy with 3 first names says 300 likes. Those are rookie numbers. Let's smash that like button. Yes, I agree. We're at 545 now with 1,500 people. We could easily get that to 700. If we get to 700, we'll play the frog and we'll play it on 2x speed. Or I'll let you vote. Here it is what I do. We'll do this. Yeah, if you're here to get like serious alpha at this point, I highly suggest you go enjoy your day. We're now going to be goofing off. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. 2x or 0.5x chopped. What's it called when you go to, is it called a rage? No, it's not called a rage. What's the thing where people go and like pump their fists and it's really wild? Music is like all crazy. Yeah, it's 1.5. You're right. It's 1.5x. I'm going to go to a rage, bro. A rave. Okay, get to 700, and here we go. The poll will run. When we get to 700, we'll do it. Okay. Vlad asked, where are you getting? I'm getting it from Electric Capital. It seems to, right, how you're going to cross-check it, right? You're going to have to go through it and do it all yourself. You're going to have to kind of rely on it. So the thing I've just kind of do is try to cross-check it throughout historical norms to see is there any trend of the data to give any type of insight, right? Right? Is there anything from the data you could extract and make some type of determination on the market, right? And some of it you can't. If you're just going to track sheer number of developers, you're not going to get any type of insight. If you're going to track growth in developers, likely not going to get any kind of insight. But if you see a decline, there does seem to be that, and so that's why I show concern when I see assets or digital assets who are losing developments. But Electric Capital, they were supposed to update it in May. So the thing is, I got to see them do a presentation at Consensus 2023. They were on the Filecoin protocol stage. And out of all of the speakers and panelists and stuff that I saw, it was one of the ones where it was packed pretty good. And I sat in front row, man. I was one of the first people to show up because I was like, out of all the things I'm going to see while I'm here, if I'm going to walk away with any type of data and go back to my channel and present them anything to make this trip that cost me like $3,000 to go do, this is going to be the thing that I better walk away with something. And when I left, I was kind of like, it was good. It was good. But did I get anything from it? Like, do I have any, I was taking pictures of all their slides when they were presenting it. I'm like, well, okay, but did I get anything from it to give me alpha or to give me an edge on the market? And I was like, maybe not. But then I started looking for them and I went to their website and they had everything posted online. I was like, okay, cool. I can go through the reports and read them. And then seeing that they had reports that were dating all the way back to 2018, I was like, oh, okay. So now we can cross-check these reports and to see, we've gone through a huge run-up in the market. We can see who the best performers were. We can see who the worst performers were. Can we find any type of statistical data in developer data that maybe would have given us a clue? And one of those big ones is really just seeing the developer decline. And whether or not every metric they're tracking is accurate, it's just seeing at least the developer declining data provides some type of insight. So thank you, Vlad. Andy Philpott gifted 5 as well. Man, thank you very much. I appreciate it, Andy. And thank you, Vlad. Gino D. Emilio said, someone gifted me a membership. I'm super grateful to whoever it was. BCB, do you think XRP retests the 200-day MA? I mean, it could. I mean, we've already tested it, right? So it's already been tested. Does it mandatorily require another test? I'm not sitting here thinking it needs to. Could it? Yeah, but it's not like where you haven't visited it once. You've already visited it. So maybe that's just I'm not going to put a statistical probability on it just because we've already tested it one time. OG Manic, Q&T 4X in the bear market. Is that a sign of strength? No, it's not. Nope. Unfortunately, we don't have developer data on Q&T. And remember, Q&T is also silly expensive compared to what it was 2 years ago. I'm not here to down talk Q&T. There's a huge community of Q&T. It has a great inflation rate. What's the inflation rate of Q&T? Where are you? Please be in my list. Come on. Come on. Hold on. Because I had checked it. Data sort column. Okay, is this true? All right, so tell me this is true. Does Quant have a 0% inflation rate? Anybody know? Am I getting my data correct? For anybody who's a Quant expert. Quant. Apparently I can't call it Quaint. No one's answering. Okay. No, so just because it bounces off the bottom strong doesn't mean it has a sign of strength to go into a new bull market. Great example of that would be EOS in 2019. Huge bounce off the bottom. We all know what happened. Where to find inflation data? Well, I'll tell you what, all this data you can find and be taught down here on bcbecker.com. Secret sauce from the market experience, where you can learn research data that improves odds. Percentages matter over price, and the importance of tokenomics, right? So that's when we're talking about inflation, and we're talking about the market caps, and we're talking about all that stuff, and trying to figure out and solve all those different things, and how these little measurements in here are important. And no matter how optimistic we can be about things like, you want to be about Casper, you want to be about Hedera, you want to be about Algo, all that stuff, you are going to have a headwind ahead of you because of the inflation in there. And let me see, can I undo this too so I get it right back? Yeah. Like, just, 50% inflation for Hedera is not good. I mean, it's bad. Like, let's be straight up. That's bad. So I think the next thing I'm going to do, the next video it's going to take me weeks to put this together, so I don't think it's coming out anytime soon. Think about, like, cross-checking inflation versus performance in 2021. Be an interesting one. Right, so Algo's down, right? Where is it? Algo's inflation's now down to 5.51%. I mean, that's good now. I mean, that's good. Nothing wrong with 5.51. Well below market average. But it had a long period of really bad. Anyway, I gotta move on. Matt. So thank you, OG Matic. Matt, do some chains naturally attract more devs, retail versus enterprise use case? Some chains are not marketed and used for retail use, CBDC, permission, etc. I don't know all that. I don't know all that answer, Matt. If something is retail versus enterprise use case, so that's my problem. Like, when I think of Casper, like enterprise use case, so you're fully dependent on issuers and getting companies to use a token, right? What's that? The definition of that? Like, that's not, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Crypto Quester says, thoughts on projects that hit 4.236 extensions in the last cycle, repeating that again. Does your intuition this cycle gravitate towards coins like Sui or Sol Old? Try not to use intuition, right? Because intuition, right? And then there's the part of the speculation, right? So, like with Sui, something is right. It's brand new. Who knows what that chart's going to do now? And it's going to be incredibly difficult to try to do any type of particular measurements, at least on its next move. Like, for something like Sui, like, it's like what happens with all token releases, right? Or all coin releases. This is kind of where, this is what it's like in the initial release, right? So coins get released, early investors get out, price falls, finds support, and then finally it goes on eventually at some point to do something. Hopefully that's next for Sui. Then eventually, we end up having a pullback, and then it can go on for another run. And then this is where we can usually start doing some type of measurements, pulling off of, what was going on in this last one to figure out where it can go. But trying to do any type of measurements with its current price location makes it really difficult and dangerous. And it's not something I'm putting a tremendous amount of money in. But as we saw in 2020, in 2019 through 2020 and 2021, if you would have just gone through and accumulated the top 30, right? You went and bought all of the top 30. Only 2 out of 10 would have gone into bull runs. Oh, we hit 700. I see it. And we're obviously, we're going to be raving. We're going to be raving this fine day. I'll end the poll. It's right in a minute. Dang, I don't remember what I was saying. So if you would have gotten the top 30, only 2 out of 10, right? So now you say to yourself, well, what was the data that I could have picked to get to just grab each of those 2 out of 10, right? You're not going to find a very consistent data set that's going to tell you how you would have gotten Doge versus BNB versus Cardano, and not picked up things like XRP or Stellar. What else? Or what else is in the top 10? I don't even know. I have to go through my list. I don't have it all. I'm not going to go through all that. That's all. I've covered that. It's just so you guys know. All of that is covered in lessons learned from 2017 and 2018 and reviewing altcoin seasons. I do massive data deep dives into these, talking all about this, math, showing it, and then really going through. And then after doing all of that and showing those, that's where this one really comes in to show how could we have done better on that with some other data. But yeah, trying to figure out how do you improve your odds, right? Because if only did we see other coins run up? Yeah, you saw stuff like Filecoin go up, right? You saw stuff like Solana go up. You saw FTT. You saw Luna. You saw these other things go up and surge and get their way into the top 30, right? So how do you find those, right? How do you get those other ones? And that's where, the dangers of crypto come. That's where the scams come, because everybody's going to sell you on the idea that this is the giant coin that's going to make it into the top 10, and everybody piles into it and gets rug pulled by it, right? So the way I treat SUI is it's that, like, it has a massive amount of developer data. When I was watching Consensus 2023, when I was sitting there in the front row, it was a coin that was talked about on stage. And so I said, you know what? If I'm going to have a long shot on something brand new, I'm going to put a little bit in this one. Will it go to zero? Maybe. But if I'm going to have some type of diversified portfolio and some of it be dedicated to something brand new, it's one of the ones I'm taking a shot at. Will it pan out? I don't know. And it's going to be one of the ones where likely, unless we get like what I talked about, where we start getting some waves to show up, like hopefully we can see like a clear 5-wave Elliott wave, motive wave with 3 impulses, then it starts making things a whole lot easier. If not, then it's going to be really dependent on things like lessons learned, on watching all other indicators that really gave us the clues of peak happening back here, even though we go set new high back in here, and having to focus on what is going on with Bitcoin, what is going on with the underlying indicators on Bitcoin, regardless of where price is. So I don't really gravitate towards Solana unless something huge turns around for Solana. Like, it's got the same exact setup as Ethereum did back in 2018 and 19. But the difference between Ethereum back then and Solana now is that Ethereum was still growing with developers. There was still interest in there. People were still building on Ethereum. I don't know if that's truly the case anymore for Solana, or if it's a dying blockchain. And that becomes the things to kind of pay attention to. Is there death occurring on chain in regards to users? So, all right, thank you. Red Pit says, what is your opinion on the traditional markets? Do you think now is a poor time to invest in the U.S. stock market? Are you serious right now? Is this for real, bro? I think we should all know I'm terrified of traditional markets in general, like buying the stock market. No, bro, I'll be respectful here. I mean, there's the case for it to go that this is a massive distribution. I've covered this a lot. This is your first phase of distribution, automatic reactions. This is a buying climax, automatic reactions, and that we're working on like an up thrust that goes on to distribute. I mean, that's definitely possible. But the big concern, of course, for these indexes is sitting right back here at these retracement levels. That's a concern happening in there for sure. So as an investor in the stock market, I have chosen not to be a strong investor in the stock market right now, but to each their own. Jokers, man, dude. Oh man, I saw that red thing on the screen, but I was like, I've got to respect everybody. Man, dude. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it, brother. Dude. I don't think I've ever gotten one a donation this big ever before in the history of my channel. That is unbelievably insane. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Joker's Performance says, thanks for everything. Your TA has changed my life. This perspective has opened my eyes. And honestly, it's hard to find in this world. And I truly appreciate your hard work. It's good to see there's good left in this world that we live in. Dude, thank you, man. You know, the donation is, of course, absolutely mind-boggling and mind-blowing. But the thing that always is nice is the kind words. It's not always like that on YouTube. You do have to have some thick skin here. You're going to take it on the chin a lot every single day. But just so you guys know, those nice comments do go... keep you going. Yeah, there's a human over here on the other side of the screen, right? Just like every human, you want to hear nice things too. You want to hear reassurance. You want to hear affirmations at the same time because you'll get in your own head a little bit too. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jokers. It's very kind of you. Dr. Ty 168 says BCB is on the path to getting his life together. The course is finally out, and next would be Frog and BCB merch. Thank you for all your works. Thank you, Dr. Ty. And yes, yeah, that's what's next in probably 2 weeks from now, I think is what the deal is. And my wife is very involved in that. And she's constantly presenting it all to me and pushing it that we're getting this stuff out. Thank you. So Rachel or Rochelle Brown says, what are your thoughts regarding Verge getting ISO 20022? Thanks. I don't know. I don't think ISO 2022 has meant anything for any coins. And Verge XPT? Like, what? Am I missing something? Is it rising today or something? I don't know. I don't know. Is this still on here? Yeah, okay. I don't know. Don't know. Never heard of it, but thank you. I mean, I've heard of Verge, of course. I've owned Verge. That was like a 2018 insane thing with when you had Tron and you had Verge going back and forth, and you had John McAfee. That was a good time, right? That was the mark of the end of the craziness in the market when we were going nuts like that. Oh, look at that! There's little hearts and little thingies on there. Wait, is there a new button now where you can like hit hearts and thingies? I see your little like hearts all flying on the right side of my screen now. Is that new? What is that? Yeah, there's some hearts. There's some smileys. Oh, there we go. We're going nuts. Dude, okay, that's cool. Has that always been there? Yes, it's 2 weeks old. It's new. Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. All right, Oscar Hernandez says, hit the like. Okay, all right, bro. Thank you, Oscar Hernandez, my dude. Appreciate it, man. Frog, hooks, pirate ships, strong, gorilla, tacos, and then beach and more frogs. Oh, I owe you guys because you did it. Hold on, I got to swap it up. And we're going to play it 2 times because otherwise it's just really short. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
All right, hold on. Can I do this? Hold on. We're going to try it.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Okay. There we go. Too much fun. Too much fun. We're not allowed to do that here, guys. That's not okay. Let's see. Crypto Quester says, is it possible to chart ICP with fibs? The project was heavily manipulated, but has amazing technology stats and dev stats, and Vitalik likes it too. Do market cap fibs work? That one was released near the end, right? So another problem with that, probably focusing on market cap, because Internet Computer is another one that I do believe had high inflation. Internet Computer, 82% inflation. That's brutal, man. So, you know, I don't know. That's kind of like my next project is now to go through and study 2021 versus inflation and see like what inflation rates were going on in 2019 and then how did that translate into 2021 as well. Did things that had high inflation rates get wrecked the worst? I know for certainty, just because you had a low inflation rate, it did not mean you were going on a moon mission for certain, because a lot of stuff had a low inflation rate and didn't go. Like Bitcoin Cash, it has the exact same inflation rate as Bitcoin. It's a fork of Bitcoin. That didn't matter, but was there a correlation between high inflation, right? So that's kind of like my next project. Not so sure about ICP just because it's been a downward trip. It's gone from like $300 to $3. All right. Can you please share your view on XRP RSI and stochastic RSI? If you just look at the bigger term, I'm going to make it really brief. Where do I want to do it? We'll go over to longer term. We'll do big term. All right. RSI hovering flat, slightly up off of 40, right? So 40 is the bull market low and the bull market hold level. So do we get anything straight from RSI to indicate that we're out, right? We can even look back here in 2020, October of 2020. Not a huge sign that the RSI marked that the bottom was in on the monthly time frame. Outside, it had come off a floor and was hanging out here at about 47 to 48. Right now, we're at 48. So we've come down. We've hit those lows of what has marked lows for XRP when it comes to relative strength, and bounced off and hovering in that level like we have. Another thing to take notice of is stochastic RSI from back in 2020 is that this marked that the low was already in, right? And now we're getting ready to start marching our way back up. But there's a little bit of delay in here. It doesn't mean just because strength has now resumed back in the market, we're ready to go picking up and rocking, but that we were done with all of it, right? So then you move on over here. What have we done? We've gone all the way to the floor. We've lost all momentum, all steam. Now it's all coming back in, and the RSI is up. Now it's just like that same waiting zone. And the irony about all of these things, look at these indicators in here, right? Let's like highlight the time frame we're in. Right, where are we seeing all of this behavior happening at? Right in here, right? It marks it. We're off the lows on relative strength. We're going off on stochastic RSIs, pulling out a bear. Where are we in here? Let's go down to weekly. Let's go down into daily. Where are we? We're in here, right? We're in here. What is this moment? It's the moment where we come back and we hit the 200-day moving average, the 22.5-cent time period that we all loved and lived through, which I guess is only 2/3 of us. I thought we had more than that, but it's not. 2/3 of us were not here, I guess, for that. I was, and the channel was, but also, right, that we know that this was like our capitulative moment. All the online underlying indicators show it being here too. And so we're literally living in the same moment, reflecting the same strength indicators that we were even exhibiting back in that time too. So, but what we know is that we kind of sat here, and like, if you weren't here, I'm sorry. This is I'm happy for you, I guess, too, because it sucked. But that we sat here in pain waiting. And this is the exact thing that we've been talking about on Bitcoin. Like if we compare, give me Bitcoin. Right? Right? This is everything we're talking about on Bitcoin happening right now, is that Bitcoin has had this like correction, this ABC correction, right? And it's pulling out here right now, right? And that even XRP, it still stayed stuck in here, right? It was still stuck in here, even though Bitcoin got out, and then eventually XRP ended up catching up, right? That was that moment. And we're talking about this particular correction happening for Bitcoin currently right now, right? That we just went through that correction right there, right? For Bitcoin. And here's Bitcoin popping up. Here's Bitcoin popping up. But notice XRP still stayed in there for some time. But what were the bigger indicators showing on XRP at that time too? The monthly relative strength index had gotten off the floor. So bull market floor is 40, gotten off the floor, and the stochastic had already shot its way back up. We have the exact same things right in here, while we also have the same things going on over there for Bitcoin price action. So looks good on big time frames. It's just a waiting game, which is exactly what we had here, and it just eats people alive. Alrighty, Deladova, I'm worried about Uphold not allowing me to profit. Oh, okay. I don't know if you want me to make you feel better. I'm not affiliated with Uphold in any way. So I don't know. Exchanges come and go. We all know that. So the class of 2021 is learning the fact that exchanges come and go. The class of 2018 already knew that. That's why I don't have links to exchanges. I haven't had crypto exchanges be sponsors on this channel. I haven't had any affiliate links for any exchanges on this channel because they come and go. Is there any problem with Uphold? Not that I know of. Are they going to take over 2% from you when you sell? Yeah. Pros and cons, right? Can you buy XRP there? Yeah. I mean, it's a benefit, right? Is it expensive? Yeah. I do question the model of Uphold. If XRP gets clarity, and if XRP is allowed to be traded on other exchanges, I assume the vast majority of Uphold's business comes from XRP people. And we all say, "Oh, I'm loyal because they were with me through the tough time." You're more loyal to your bank account. Sorry. You're not going to pay more out of good kindness. You're going to go to an exchange where you can pay 0.25% rather than 2% on each side of the trade. So I don't know what will happen to them if XRP gets clarity. The longer this thing drags on, the better it is for Uphold. But their business is certainly I would assume and speculate that their business will take a big hit if XRP gets some clarity. And all that trading can be done elsewhere. Otherwise, I'm not really sure anybody actually uses Uphold. Oi76 says, BCB, what do you think about a black swan to 23 or 24? The definition of a black swan is it's unpredictable, man. So I don't have any opinion on a black swan to 23 or 24. It would have to be a literal surprise. And you can't really predict surprises. JB Heavy Equipment Services gives 5 blockchain backer memberships. Man, thank you so much. You guys are too kind. If you get those green things, I hope you guys are saying thanks. I'm sure you are. But we have ever since we started the markets in the morning, it's been amazing to see this kind of community grow, and friendships are made, and you guys hang out and you take care of each other. And that has nothing to do with me. I'm not encouraging any of it. It's just you guys in action. That's amazing. So thank you guys for supporting each other and supporting me and all this wildness. Thank you. And thank you, JB. Curtis Black says, if $20 to $5 scenario plays out, is it likely that it will stall at the 10 to 13 range before moving that way? I appreciate your top-notch analysis. I don't know. I mean, right? Is it going to stop? I mean, maybe. For me, it doesn't matter, right? For me, like I've always said, 10 to 13. And if you watch the XRP video, as inflation is continuing and as tokenomics continue to play their duty, that $10 is about to drop into the nines. That's where I take out 65%, regardless of whatever narrative it is, regardless if it is going to $25, if it is going to $5.89, it doesn't matter. 65% goes when that market cap gets up near that 4.236. And we'll just have to see how price action responds when it gets there. I hope you watched the Ethereum video I put out yesterday. I know most people did not. Looks like Bitcoin's kind of popping back a little bit. Hello, Bitcoin. How you doing? We've now recovered the Saylor buy. Yay! Michael Saylor's buy has been recovered. So, I wouldn't put out an Ethereum video if I didn't think, I understand, people who watch my channel, a lot of XRP people, right? I mean, my hat, I'm wearing a hat right now with an XRP logo on it. I know, my audience, and big gamble to put out an Ethereum video. And if I was going to put one out and give it to you guys, I would have to have a good reason. Yeah. Discover Enlightenment says it's only going to hit 588.99. And if you weren't going to walk away being like, wow, that was a crazy video, I wouldn't put one out about Ethereum unless I thought there was a legitimate reason to do it. And if you need just one thing to scratch your head, okay? Here's January of 2018. Here's September of 2019. That's the bear market of crypto, where Ethereum's dominance goes from 26% all the way down to 7%. That's what happens to all altcoins. Why is Ethereum flat the whole time? Why? Why is this a bear market? Why is this a bear market? Is something else at play? 20%. It did not lose any dominance the whole time. No dominance lost. Why? And if you are this is going to be tough love from Daddy Blockchain Backer. If you are just living in resentment and anger and frustration that get fed to you by YouTube videos and not paying attention to what's going on in the market, that's an emotion, right? You're using emotions. At least educate yourself and have an educated decision, an educated opinion, and not something fed to you that is really great for clicks and viewership and anger and pissing you off. Just take a look at it and say, why did that happen? Why do you go from 26% to 7%? And then why do you stay at 20% the whole time? You know what I mean? Something's up. Something's up. If you're ignoring it and just being angry and yelling, don't let the same thing happen that happened in 2021. Pat. Thank you, Pat. Every day. 5 blockchain backer memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. See how the stock market's doing. NASDAQ, massive recovery on the NASDAQ. Coinbase, big winner again, coming off of 12% yesterday, now up 5% this morning. Tesla scooting its way up 3.6% with Netflix coming in hot right behind at 3.5%. We could see that ARK Investment, after being down real far back, now up 2.5% with Roblox coming in at 1.79%, followed by GE at 1.59%. Unbelievable race. Okay. We're done. No fun zone. All right, guys. I think we're getting to the point we're going to start getting here near the end, but it looks like we got a nice little recovery over here in Bitcoin. Stellar Lumens, again, that's the weird thing, guys. Keep an eye out. Stellar Lumens up 1.19%, the big head scratcher of the universe right now. Grayscale, Stellar, up silly amounts all the way back to December of 2021 pricing back in here. Truly unreal pricing happening for Stellar Lumens, Grayscale Trust, up hundreds of percents. In the last 2 days, up over 200%. Absolutely crazy. One Rough Rican, thank you very much. He says, I watched your Ethereum video and liked it. I find it important to know what everything is doing in the market because it's all tied together, and you do a great job of trying to help us out to understand. Go Grayscale. Thank you. Yeah. And like I said, let me look at it again, because now I've made that announcement. There's some dude who's like, I'm gonna go thumbs down that thing. No, it's still like that. That you would not expect that on my channel, if I put out an Ethereum video, it would have the highest like to dislike ratio in the last month of all live streams and all videos. So let's see. I put out 13 videos in the last month, and I've done 20 plus live streams. Out of those 33 in the last month, it has my highest like to dislike ratio. The most likes versus dislikes on an Ethereum video. So, up to you. Thank you, One Rough Rican. Matt Eanes, the economic narrative the Fed wants us to believe is that ever separate from politics, policy, chances of a black swan. Oh. Okay, let me read this again. Matt, he says, the economic narrative is the Fed wants us to believe. Okay. I'm going to try to read this. Okay. Is that ever separate the politics and policy and chances of black swan showing up is on people's mind? I don't know. I mean, you know, this is where you get them, right? You're at retraces. This is where things like that show up, right? So like in crypto, we see examples of that. We see like when Bitcoin went back into its retracement in 2021 in May, Elon goes on Saturday Night Live, right? So the only element missing from the stock market right now is sheer euphoria. You have so many people looking for a recession. You have so many people scared of the market. We're not seeing euphoria back here. We do see some stuff that's interesting, such as like Apple and Microsoft touching those all-time highs. And of course, you have the NVIDIA stuff where people are just like YOLO, like, oh my gosh, I love AI. Ah! And like you see that, but do you see euphoria in the whole market? I don't think so. And that's something we usually look for right here. And I don't see euphoria in the market. And so like think back to crypto, we had euphoria with Elon, right? We had euphoria on Saturday Night Live. We were getting crazy price action and a lot of stuff. But are we truly seeing insane price action everywhere? I don't think so. I don't think we're seeing exhaustive euphoria of price appreciation in the market happening as we get back to this market, which is optimistic. But being here, of course, like, and my thoughts are, when it comes to Fed, like in your question, you say Fed, you say politics and policy and all that stuff and economic data and everything, that we tend to have things that happen that is not the government's fault. You know what I mean? Something has to happen that there's no way it could have been the government's fault. When C-19 happened, right? Stock market crashes and crumbles. There's no way that's the government's fault, right? But was it also like a ton of leverage and unwinding? And the Fed was already going through a cutting cycle, which we've seen the last 3 cutting cycles. Once they start, that's the marking point of where things just fall apart. So, you know, keeping an eye on them for sure. Will it show up in a sudden one day and then everything just falls apart? I don't know. But predicting black swans, Can we keep an eye for them? Yeah. Are we at a location where they can show up? Yeah. But are they? I don't know. They're unpredictable. So we'll see. Thank you, Matt. MillZRG says, you mentioned XRP can't make an all-time high without Bitcoin. Well, I mentioned it never has before. Without Bitcoin or Ethereum getting there first. Do you consider new fundamentals influencing XRP to run alone? Impossibility. So you're asking me, could a narrative make this time different? And then you're saying, can TA be invalidated by unexpected fundamentals? It never has for XRP. So that's kind of the thing. So that's the problem we have with XRP. We go there. It just is the best clicks ever to create every theory ever. News has never impacted the price ever. Every theory, every news, everything has never impacted it. It's always been price behavior of the market. And so that's why I just am like, try to give you the power. I try to show you the charts and give you the data. However I want to interpret it is whatever. Who cares how I want to interpret it? I can give you all the data and show you what happened, right? And then it's up to you to make your decision to say, well, I know that's mattered for forever, but it's not going to matter this time. That's your choice, right? This time is different. Okay, you can roll with that all you want. But like in your statement right out the gates, you say you mentioned XRP can't make an all-time high without Bitcoin or Ethereum getting there first. It's not that it can't. It's that it never has before. And all the narratives you guys hear on YouTube videos and on Twitter and all that stuff, I've been hearing all those things for over 5 years, right? That's nothing new to me. All the theories, all the riddles, all the conspiracies, all the everything of secrets of what's going on behind closed doors. I've been hearing that for 5+ years, man. And then they get sued. And they get sued by the SEC, right? And, like, whatever you want to believe in it. The only thing I can look at from like a quantitative measurable thing is to say, well, how have chart behaviors been? Otherwise, how you're going to quantitatively measure that whatever narrative you believe is going to be the thing that's going to happen, how are you going to find a place to take any action at? You have nothing. Gut feeling this time is different. That's all you got. And I personally can't rely on that. It's just not for me. It's not how I operate. So if I sell at $9 and look like a total dingus clown, I'm fine with it. All good, man. My wife will never have to work again for the rest of her life. My kids will have a good life. Kids will go to college. Everything will be fine. Might not drive a Lambo, but the things that matter will be taken care of. And then 35% of my bag can ride off into the sunset. All good. All right, Zach King. A BCB, both of your courses are worth so much more than what you charge for them. I just wanted to say thank you. Where's the number one place you want to travel post-moon? Zach, thank you very much. You said both courses are worth so much more than what you charge for them. So, yeah, I put them at a price I've learned a lot about my YouTube channel. I've learned a lot about mistakes I've made. I've learned a lot about things that I've done right. If you guys have definitely noticed, like the last year, I've had no sponsors on the channel, right? Because people don't want to hear me pitching products, dude. And I'm down with that, dude. I don't like doing it. You just try to make a living to continue doing it. And that's one thing that didn't work for the channel. And what I did learn about the couple of sponsorships I did have is that if one segment of your audience feels left out, it upsets them. It makes them feel they're not invited in. And so, right, people charge hundreds of dollars for courses and stuff like that. But people did like is my educational content. I said, you know what, that's where I've got to focus on. Don't focus on, sponsorships and pitching products and all that kind of stuff. Create educational content, and then don't do the mistake of making people feel left out. Don't make people feel like they're not part of it. And so, it's the offset, right? Do you want to price it really high and get a few, or do you want to like price it to where everybody can get it and then try to open it up to as many people as possible? And that's just kind of the route I've chosen with this one. There's no subscriptions, there's no recurring fees. It's $39, and the goal is just to open it up and make everybody it feel more inclusive to the most people possible. So that's really the dot on it when it's like that. I appreciate the kind comments. As for like my vacation, I don't even know. Like when I get in, like I'm coming out of it now. I look like a grizzly bear right now. I look gross. I've got to go on a live stream tomorrow, so I'm gonna go set up a hair appointment and go get a haircut and get my beard groomed a little bit. It's the longest it's been in forever. That I don't even think about vacations when I put my head down and grind it out. The vacation is the furthest thing away. And, you know, I have kids, right? So like you think about like when you have kids, you know, what vacations can you do, or can you like, I don't know. I kind of want to just go to the beach for a few days. I want to go fishing. I want to go out on a pier late at night. It's like midnight. It's like 1 a.m. You're tired. You're gross. There's only like the real big weirdos that are still out there on the pier that late at night. But you're all just crushing it, like catching big monsters out there. And like it's 1 a.m. and you guys all stink, but you're just having a blast because you're catching like 3-foot long fish. And you're not tired because you're just hopped up on adrenaline. And then during the day, you kind of hang out with the kids at the beach, but then you go back to the pier at night and it's on again. That's what I want. That's what I want. So that's what I'm going to try to make happen this summer. That's kind of the thing I need. And that's, you know, ocean fishing, right? So thank you, Zach. Consumer2 Blockchain is very generous. Thank you. Consumer2 Blockchain, thank you very much. He says, happy Wednesday, BCB. Congrats on your new course. I can't wait to dive in. Do you think XLM trust is surging because people in stocks want to explore to asset historically tied to the XRP price? Dude, I don't know. Like, that's what I'm kind of, if I get some time today, this is what I'm going to be kind of figuring out. What the heck is going on with these grayscale products, and especially grayscale stellar lumens? I'd go try to find reliable data. Do not go find speculation data, guys, or speculation theories, conspiracies. Go try to find real data on this. That's what I'm going to try to do. Because it is bizarre. It is bizarre. Up 200% in the last 2 days. So, okay. And then, so I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with this thing. You know, and that makes you interested to say, well, stellar lumens, are you going to catch up? Right? Stellar lumens catching up would be there. It'd be 30 cents. So I don't know. It's a weird one. Consumer2 Blockchain Solutions again says, I appreciate you always making sure your knowledge and wisdom is inclusive for everyone. The purpose over money. Thank you very much, Consumer2 Blockchain Solutions. All right, guys, that's it. Now I got to figure out what I'm going to make a video about. I don't have anything in the pipeline today, so I'm going to figure out what we're going to talk about today. If I can find something interesting for us. Otherwise, it looks like from this morning, it looks like we're kind of starting to recover a little bit. It looks like the Dow is getting kind of hammered, but the S&P has gone back to flat, and then the NASDAQ has gone up. So again, one of those things to notice on there with the Dow being down almost 0.5%, it's down 0.47%. Who's a big contributor to that? It's United Health, who is down 1.12%. Otherwise, obviously, we see all this green up in here. It's going to be NASDAQ, S&P, right? Coinbase leading the way at 4.89%, coming off of yesterday being up 12%. Michael Saylor announced that he had bought Bitcoin this morning, a tremendous amount of Bitcoin. Remember, guys, at the bottom, they were buying nothing. They would have months where they would buy nothing, and when they would buy, they'd buy $10 million. They wouldn't buy anything down here. For some reason, suddenly they bought $340 million here. I'm always, you sometimes rely, when it comes to narratives and stuff like that, you rely on your gut a little bit. My gut is screaming something weird. about the whole MicroStrategy thing, and especially since Saylor isn't the CEO anymore, and his job title and his role is to buy more Bitcoin, and you didn't buy any at the bottom, and YOLO'd in up here. Okay, we'll see about that. That's me just being a D. Otherwise, a decent recovery here as the markets got opened. Gold down, which is good. Dollar up. And all those grayscale products are absolutely crazy, unbelievable. But it looks like Bitcoin's still able to just kind of waddle in here. And that's really my thoughts for the remainder of the week. So hopefully that's what we see. We just see a nice boring week in Bitcoin. Maybe that gives an opportunity for the altcoins to do a little bit. But hopefully next week is a unique week that we can actually see some really big price appreciation come into the market and get this party started. So otherwise looking good. Of course, bcbacker.com, the blockchain backers technical analysis toolkit for crypto, is open. You guys know it. It's been a big week for me getting this thing off the ground. My baby I've been working on for 3 months, but it feels good to be back and have the completion of this behind me. Again, it's $39, no recurring fees, no subscriptions, access to over 40 videos plus 11 hours of content, highlighting all the stuff in here. It comes with PDF download files, so if you want to have copies of it, and then links to additional resources so you can continue learning. Elliott waves, Wyckoff, historical behavior of the crypto market, and a lot of stuff you guys were asking questions about, research data, tokenomics, all that kind of good stuff over here on bcbacker.com. Otherwise, last one here, Mr. Nobody says, hey, BCB, the new course is fire. I made dingus moves from a few years ago before taking your first course, but now I have a decent understanding of the markets thanks to you. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, guys. All right. 25 likes. Oh, yeah. Let's get there. Let's hit 1,000. Let's do the frog. It's Wednesday. And then let's get the day going and get to the end of the week. Let's see here. Are we there yet? I know we can get there. We only need 16. Oh, no. Grumpy old man says I'm about 30 minutes behind. Man, you guys are going slow. We got to go. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to trust that you're going to get there while we play the frog. I just know we're going to do it. There we go.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, guys. Another successful Wednesday in the books. We killed it. You guys killed it. Jeez, man. You were very generous. Look at those frogs in there. All right. Thank you guys so much. Again, if you haven't had a chance to check out the site, go check out the site. Months in the making. It's live. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this live stream and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice, and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.